I swear to God, when I saw this palette, I was like, wait, did they just like take another palette and then put it in a new container, like a new box? Because this wine and only, Colourpop, you're getting to benefit levels of puns and I'm not here for it. Stop it. Also, they have, what is it? A Super Shock Shadow Duo Somal Yay? I hate it. While on the surface, this palette, not ugly. Whenever I talk about, and whenever I talk shit about Colourpop palettes, I'm usually not saying that they're ugly. And the quality is not bad. They're almost always the same kind of colors. They don't go deep enough. They don't match the theme a lot of times. Like they have this new orange one that's like a poppy one, and the orange is like a sad, like terracotta, like it's not even like a poppy orange. But this wine palette, I instantly started coming up with other colors. And like my sister loves wine, so I showed her this and she was just like, why? Why did they choose to do this? It's just not good. It looks like another mauve palette that they put out like a year ago. The fact that the packaging itself, again, it's an issue I have with a lot of brands. The fact that the packaging is more vibrant than the actual colors, don't do that. You're only making your own shades look worse when you put it in a plastic packaging that's like brighter and prettier than the colors inside. The prettiest part of a makeup palette should be the eyeshadows, not the packaging. They took the laziest route to do a wine themed palette. I will be making my own wine themed palette in another video later this week. We're going to be photoshopping and redesigning more palettes. This is on the list. They could have done like a beautiful like Chardonnay, like a straight up kind of yellowy greeny tone champagne color, straight up champagne, that's wine. It's like this whole palette is for ladies who just drink rosé at brunch. And there's not like a deep Merlot, purpley color. They could have had green because green grapes, vines. They could have done so many things with wine, and yet they did the laziest thing that they could have done. It's like they made a bunch of colors like 5 years ago, and then they've just been putting different combinations of colors in palettes ever since then. Too Faced came out with a line of lipsticks, just a cream lipstick, like a bullet lipstick, which I feel like right now is a weird time to be coming out with like a whole collection of bullet lipsticks because like we're wearing masks in public, you know? I don't know. It feels weird, but the weirder thing is what it's called. It's called Lady Balls lipsticks.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Why, Too Faced? Why? Like, this is so cringy. Like, it's just the cringiest thing. It pains me. It's like hashtag girl boss, but on
steroids.
Like, this is hyper cringe to an extreme. It's not creative at all. Like, literally, they just took a bullet lipstick and then put the, like, embossed letters on the side, so it's not creative. I mean, the name's problematic. Like, the name's definitely problematic. It feels low-key transphobic. Am I expecting anything from Too Faced? Literally, no. No. Like, why? Why? It's just gross. It's just gross. I don't need this. This is gross.
Jared.
Oh, one of the top comments. Fabulous. One of the top comments is never trust a male lead company using empowerment for marketing. Yeah, this is like, this is some phoned in, fake ass feminism disguised as empowerment. So I'm not about that. No.
Next.
The video, it hurt my soul to see the promotional video for Jeremiah Starfish's new mascara. It hurt me. Mr. Starfish himself came out with a fuck-proof mascara. First of all, I heard that there was an indie brand that already kind of had sex-proof trademarked or something. Like, that's kind of shady as hell. But the promotional video was so gross. I'm all for like sex positivity, you know, but when you know that your audience is so young, like weirdly young for how adult you portray yourself on the internet, that's gross. It's gross as hell. And like, we knew he was going in that direction because of the Orange palette that came out, God, last year. Fuck. We knew this was gonna happen. The promotional video, like, even people, I guess, who are fans of him were like, bro, it's a mascara, like, chill out. That's a lot. And then dropping at the same time as his creepy nightmare fuel NFT images. Fuck NFTs. Holy shit. Buy art. Okay, I'm not gonna go on too much of a rant about that. People are really going wild with mascara branding these days. We got one end of the spectrum of Nikita Dragon wearing false lashes to another end of the spectrum where Jeffree Star is like creating short, erotic S&M films about mascara. Why? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. This was something that was not on my radar, and it only came on my radar because I saw people talking about it on YouTube, and this is so
Weird.
Benefit, who I realized are pretty popular in the UK and like in Europe. Like I've come to find out that like Benefit still has like a very strong hold on like the European market, which is why they're still in business. So like good for them, honestly. Oh, this is apparently only available in Sephora, France. Still weird. 4 face palettes, the Horoscope palettes. So like horoscope, funny, quirky puns. 2 of them look almost identical. There's the Fire Queen, the Earth Angel, and the Air Goddess. Where's the Water Queen? Hello? Where's the 4th element? The first 2, the Earth Angel and the Air Goddess, look so similar. So there's Hula Bronzer in 2 of them. Georgia Peach Blush, which looks very similar to Hula in the pan, are in 2 of them. Dandelion Blush is in, only the Air Goddess palette. So they have some exclusive shades in here, technically, but the exclusive shades look just like every other shade that they've put in these like blush and powder and bronzer palettes. If you're gonna do something exclusive, at least make it like new looking. It almost looked like they tried to make different palettes for people with different skin tones, but yet they put the same bronzer in what is seemingly the lightest and the darkest palette. Why don't they put like the lighter Hula shades or the darker Hula shades? Like why do they have the same bronzer in 2 palettes that just have like a bunch of blushes? The second one is all blushes. It's a baffling collection of things that there's so many repeats between them, even though the names of the shades are like exclusive, but they look the same. Like they look the same. The packaging, I will say the packaging is cute. Like they actually kind of nailed it with the packaging. Like I like that packaging. If Benefit could stick on that, like that's cute. I like the packaging, which for me with Benefit, like that's rare. I don't know. It's just weird. Not for me, obviously. This is a packaging pet peeve that I hate packaging like this. I like squeezy tubes. I like the Glossier Cloud Paints. I love the squeezy tubes of those. I feel like squeezy tubes are great for cream blushes, for liquid blushes, for lip glosses. I like squeezy tubes. Bite Beauty came out with a Daycation whipped cream blush, which the formula sounds like it would be like fine. I'm not a huge fan of cream blushes. If I'm gonna have a blush that's not a powder, I'd rather it just be like a liquid blush, like something like the Cloud Paints. So a whipped cream blush doesn't really sound like my kind of formula. But the packaging on this, I don't see how this would be that useful and that just like ergonomically sound, because half of the bottle, this also gives me very much EOS vibes. Why? So you squeeze the bottom half of it. There's just not enough surface area to squeeze it. And then the lid is the same size as the bottle. It's just not a good use of space. And I can commend them for being like, I don't know, innovative with the packaging. But if you're going to be innovative with packaging, have it be a better use of the packaging. If you're going to innovate, I want it to be an improvement. If you want to innovate and make it worse, there was no point in innovating in the first place. I feel like that across all makeup and skincare and beauty stuff. If you're going to innovate the packaging of something, don't innovate it just because it's prettier. If you find out a new way of packaging something that makes it easier to store, easier to use, because this also, like the packaging itself looks like it would be a nightmare for somebody who has any like hand mobility issues, for like folks with arthritis. Like this sounds like it would be not a great packaging for that. Like, I feel like something that has more of something to grip onto would make more sense. I don't like this. Makeup Revolution, which already has like 2 side brands, like I Heart Revolution and like Revolution Pro. Like, there's literally like Makeup Revolution, I Heart Revolution, Revolution Pro. Now they have Planet Revolution, which is an entirely new side brand that they are marketing as their eco-friendly brand. So their way of being more eco-conscious is to make more stuff in a different brand, but still make their other things, when they could just maybe change some of their practices. I don't know. It just seems like the most bizarre choice to be like, yes, to be eco-conscious and to be earth-friendly, we are going to make more palettes and more products that are pretty cheaply made and put out way too often, so that people who want to be earth conscious and want to be eco-friendly and want to be more green, clean and green, will buy our products also. So all they're doing is just trying to grab at more consumers who are more conscious of that stuff. That's all they're doing. Like, they're just putting out an entirely greenwashed collection to gain more consumers. No, I don't need any of the, what, making an entirely new brand under the umbrella of Revolution so that you can also grab at the market share of eco-friendly consumers is so weird. What an interesting choice, Revolution. What an interesting choice. Yeah, so I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Oh, Jaclyn. Jaclyn Hill. You were on the right track with your blushes, with your last release with the blush palettes. Jaclyn Hill released an entire line for the summer. Tina, the Fancy Face, put out a great video about just this whole collection, this whole debacle. I highly recommend it. I will link her video in the description as well as in a card, because Tina's great. She went even more in detail about this whole situation and about like the launch video and just like some of the verbiage and the way that Jaclyn talked about it. Like, Tina goes in like really well on it. It's 5 bronzers, which is not necessarily like a bad number of bronzers. Like, you can have a decent range within 5 bronzers. Like, look at Midas. Like, there was 4 face palettes that went from light to dark. Like, there was a range there. Rather than having a range of shades, what Jaclyn and all these other brands are doing is, rather than valuing the range from light to dark, they're looking at specifically and strictly just like slight variations in undertones. Really, I can use so many different bronzer undertones. I can make so many different bronzers work for me because there's so many out there that are made for me. And like, her excuse that she's a small brand and that she's an independent brand and that she didn't have the resources to actually like have deeper shades. She was like,
oh, well, I would need to have somebody else try it on. Somebody else with darker skin try them on and get it. It's like,
then just do that. If you're only looking at your own arm and your own skin to test things out, if you're only looking at your skin tone to see if products work for people, that is your problem. Like, that is your fault for not doing the work. That's such a bullshit excuse to say that you're an independent brand and that you can't put out darker shades because you're not dark. You. Like, there's so many brands that are independent brands that I'm sure have less funding than you that have put out better shade ranges. Don't try and sell us the idea that you're such a small and fledgling brand that you're making all your own products in your kitchen. It's like, no, we know you have the backing of Morphe, so like, cut the crap. Oh my God, Urban Decay. Urban Decay did it themselves. Urban Decay is bad. Everybody's putting out Y2K looking ass holographic Xenon girl of the 21st century looking collections.
Cetus Lapidus! Cetus Lapidus! Cetus Lapidus! Cetus Lapidus!
Urban Decay is releasing their Naked Cyber palette, which again, it's not naked anymore. Just kill it off. Just, you could have just called it the Cyber palette. Why is it Naked Cyber? It's not. Urban Decay, stop it. This isn't a naked palette anymore. Please. We lost you. Years ago, we lost the naked, and it's fine, and I get it, and you want to keep releasing things that just pull people in based on, like, the word naked, even though these are, like, freaking iridescent topper shades, like pastel things that don't even fit in the... What's naked? What is naked about this?
I don't know.
Is it cute? Absolutely. Is it, again, hitting me right in the early 2000s nostalgia? Yes. But I think what would be a more effective nostalgic early 2000s thing is if Urban Decay just straight up brought back products that they released 20 years ago. Remember that? Remember the weird products they used to have? I do. Pastels, metallics, and duochromes. How many duochromes? What is it gonna be, like 2 duochromes? I don't know. Do I need it? No. Is it cute as hell? Yes. Physicians Formula continues to bang the nail in the coffin even further every time they come out with a new like butter thing, bronzer, highlight, whatever. And this is a new collection of Butter Buddies. This just looks like they're like stealing design ideas from like K-Beauty, but you know, everybody steals from K-Beauty these days. But they have one highlighter,
Butternut,
Bitter Butter, illuminating powder. What's the difference between that and a highlighter? Miss Butterfly, a blush, okay. Baby Butter, banana powder, Butter Puff, a bronzer, and then Butterscotch, which is a mattifying powder. They just come out with collections without having any sort of like range of things. Like it's one bronzer, it's one blush, it's one highlighter, it's one mattifying powder that says it's translucent, but it's white in the pan. It's like, nobody asked for this, Physicians Formula. People are asking for other things. Expand the butter bronzer to have like, I don't know, more shades. Butter Buddies? Bitter Butter. The illuminating powder is like green? I don't understand. Being butter makes buddies, and there's nothing butter than being buddies. Oh, fuck. And also, the fact that the butterscotch, this is also funny. The fact that the mattifying powder is called butterscotch, but it's not the shade butterscotch, make it butterscotch. If you're gonna call a powder butterscotch and it's white, I've never had white butterscotch. That sounds gross. Baby butter. Baby butter is way too close to baby batter, and I can't, and also butternut. Stop it. Abigail, stop it. Baby butter, baby. Physicians Formula, stop that. Oh no.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Another thing that a bunch of you guys tagged me. Clinique is putting out an eyeshadow palette. I'm trying to find it. It's something about like all about color. I literally cannot find it. I thought I had saved it. It's called like all about color or color something. Color is in the name. The colors in the palette. Clinique, what are you doing? Clinique, stay in the skincare, stay in the like lipsticks and the cheek stuff. Clinique does really good cheek products. Like their blush pop things, great mascara. I've used Clinique in the past. It was like the makeup brand that my mom used because it was like dermatologist recommended. And I went to go see a dermatologist when I was younger, quite a bit. This is not colorful, Clinique. Like, why are you trying? Like, what are you doing? Like, nobody wants this. Why? If you're gonna call something color, put color in it. Yeah, technically these are all colors, but like, if you're gonna market it as being like a colorful palette, have it be a colorful palette. And also from what I've used of Clinique eyeshadows, they're not even that good. So like, why buy them? They're not even that great. It's a boring palette with like lackluster eyeshadow formulas.
What?
Their cheek stuff is great. Eyeshadows, take it or leave it. I was so confused. I was like, what is this? A color, what? Huh? This is the Tartelette Full Bloom palette. So it's not the In Bloom, it's not the In Bloom Juicy, it's the Full Bloom. But if you look at Tarte's palettes besides this, you wouldn't be able to know that they're different because they're the same. And they just came out with a palette that was about this size with almost this exact color story earlier this year with the Juicy palette, like the big Juicy one. It may have like slightly pinkier tones, but it is the same palette. Like it's the same palette. Like Tarte, I get it, but something about them putting out consistently the same palette is frustrating, besides just it being boring. But it also gives people this idea that it's a new palette, and so that people will end up buying more of them, which creates more waste because it looks exactly the same. And it's like, I get that a lot of people just use neutrals, but these shades are actually quite large. Like Tarte's eyeshadows are not small. And so to have all of these palettes be like virtually the same for them to keep wanting people to buy them, it's like, at least if you want to market things to people, make something different. Like at least if you want to sell new products, like just make something different, you know? Benefit is the worst when it comes to this because they just repackage the same powders over and over again. And I feel like when it comes to eyeshadows, Tarte does the exact same thing. Benefit to face powders is what Tarte is to eyeshadows. They put out the same shit time and time again, and it's always boring.